if you think you're nervous, I always mess up the intro. So
Okay.
don't follow what I'm gonna do. So I'll
So
probably
so so so, so
always mess up.
we mess it up together. That is
Yes,
fine.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hello and welcome to the Cloud Therapist channel. I'm Richard Simon. I'm very pleased to be able to do this talk with Kubermatic. The plan for us is going to be to do a series of talks, hopefully. We'll start this particular talk with a focus on an intro to Kubermatic, their solutions, some of their contribution to the cloud native space, and some of their success stories. The future talks, we hope to do a demo of the Kubermatics solution, and also beyond that, look at some of the sort of industry perspectives and Kubermatics view on those. And here to tell us all about it is Kristin Wittig. Hello, Kristin. How are you doing today?
First of all, thanks for having me. I'm doing fine. A bit bored, of course, by the general situation, but apart from that, everything is fine, and it's finally getting spring. So I'm looking forward to a hopefully nice spring and summertime.
Fantastic. Yeah. So welcome to the channel. So I thought, Kristin, just to kind of maybe do an intro, kind of your role and position within Kubermatic, and then also just to give a quick intro to Kubermatic as a company as well.
Yeah, sure. I joined Kubermatic like very early on when we had the first Container Days, which is our house conference in 2016, and so I really like was there when the company was growing right from the beginning. And meanwhile, I'm responsible for the marketing function at Kubermatic. Like in the beginning, I was like literally the girl for everything. Meanwhile, it has become the marketing stuff. Shortly about Kubermatic. Why was Kubermatic founded? It was founded because Sebastian, one of the co-founders, he felt that something was going on in this area. And back in 2016, the cloud native community was still really small, and nobody really knew whether like Kubernetes is going to be the big thing, or if like maybe Docker Swarm might make the race. But Sebastian, he was like, no, I think I can feel it. There's a huge potential of Kubernetes. And so we had the idea to build a business model around Kubernetes. And everyone loves Kubernetes, but it's also very complex. And the knowledge is limited. So our idea was we have to make this boring and easy, and like it should become invisible in the end, so that it runs, but that you don't have to like invest a lot of time and money in really operating Kubernetes. So this is kind of our mission to help organizations run Kubernetes on autopilot without caring if things work and how they work. So just have it running. We are a remote first company. That means that we have like between 60 and 70 people distributed over like more or less the entire world, which is really nice from a working atmosphere, as you can imagine. So I really have colleagues from around the world, and and a lot of diversity, and that makes it a very exciting working environment.
Brilliant. And I mean, I certainly see you guys as a sort of a next generation of that, those sort of startups that are focusing on Kubernetes, and kind of very much in that sort of next generation of startups, definitely, that are embracing and focusing on Kubernetes. So I understand that I did pick up something on the news from you guys recently. You were actually voted in the CRN's top 10 hottest Kubernetes startups. What's the feedback on that been like?
it was really, really funny because we were surprised to see the article, because we haven't been in contact with the person who wrote it before, or who
Those are all the
selected
best
us.
ones normally, isn't it? Those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
actually
yeah.
the best ones.
So it really came out of the blue, and first we were making internal jokes, and I was like, all right, I never
It can't
thought
be
that I would
true. It
work
can't be
for
true.
like a cloud native company, and then you are considered hot. So yeah, this was very, very flattering, and of
Yeah.
course, like a lot of people approached us and said like, that is pretty cool. How did that happen? And actually, I don't know how it happened, but apparently they just saw us and figured that yeah, we are a startup to watch in this area.
And I mean, I've certainly again, I've kind of, you guys came on sort of my radar a while back, and picked up some of the webinars that you guys were doing as well. And I think, I mean, I've attended some of those, and those have been really, really good, very informative as well. And again, I mean, some of the more recent announcements you've been making lots of noise as well around the. You've released a Kubermatic ROI calculator. It's kind of a getting started series, which I think I've watched the first episode. I'm trying to catch up on the rest. And also sort of there was, I think, an article or blog that you guys had about how to migrate 100 clusters without any downtime. So those, I mean, all really good things that, for people to pick up on. And how's that kind of all come about? How you guys sort of feel about that?
Well, first of all, I think we are going to cover this later. The whole cloud native transformation is a lot of change management, and people, like, you can see how the cloud native ecosystem is exploding, and many people are just getting started, and we really want to help them, because over the years, of course, we gained a lot of in-house experience on all these Kubernetes topics, and of course we want to share them, because we want to like really spread the word and help people adopt these cloud native technologies. And so yeah, we just have a great team with many, many ideas, which makes it very easy for me, luckily. And then we just see what kind of expertise can be useful for people who just start to adopt cloud native technologies, who are maybe already in an advanced stage, and yeah, just sharing what we have.
Great, Kristin. So just wanted to focus a little bit on the actual solutions that Kubermatic provide. So talk us a little bit more about the Kubernetes Platform, or KKP.
Yeah, Kubernetes Platform is for teams that seek like a centralized management platform for their Kubernetes infrastructure. And with Kubernetes Platform, you can really automate the deployment and the management of like up to thousands of Kubernetes clusters, in case you need that, across any infrastructure. So we have many cloud providers integrated out of the box. It runs on bare metal as well, and you can also use it in edge scenarios. So it's really, it covers a wide range of use cases and comes with a lot of functionalities which really help platform operators to have a minimum effort only, and can also provide their developers with kind of a self-service portal, because this is basically what we want to have, that developers can just like, create their cluster and take it and use it wherever they want.
Right, cool. And also you have something called Cube1. Now there's a sort of an open source version of that, and there's a kind of a professional version of that. Can you tell us a little bit more about Cube1?
Yeah, I would say Cube1 is the smaller brother of KKP. It is focused on like single clusters,
Right.
but just as KKP, it automates deployment and the lifecycle management of Kubernetes. And again, it's infrastructure agnostic, so it will work anywhere.
Right.
The biggest difference between KKP and Cube1 is that Cube1 is only a command line tool, whereas like Kubernetes Platform comes with a very nice dashboard, very intuitive. So this is the main difference between the two. And Cube1, as you said, Cube1 is open source, like completely open source. But some customers want to have support for Cube1. And so Cube1 Professional is just a supported version of Cube1. And we will help the customer with the architecture and the cluster installation. So he's really on the safe side.
Right, excellent. So I'd like to kind of move on to talking a little bit about customers and sort of, what success stories you guys have had with your sort of engagements on various projects. So what's been the sort of the customer feedback? What's been kind of the reaction to Kubermatics offerings, and how have your customers sort of received that?
In general, they are always very, very happy about like the speed, like regarding time to market and the reduction of complexity. I do have two examples to share. Like the first one is Sys11, which has been one of our first customers very early on. I think we started to work with them in 2017 already. And they are an internet service provider, and their customer approached them because they want to run containers. And then they were just like, they had this demand and somehow need to fill this, and but didn't know how to like quickly do this within short time to market. And also they knew that like staff wouldn't, like you could not scale with staff, so they needed a solution, and therefore took KKP as a white label to provide a managed Kubernetes offering to their customers. And I think they were one of the first ones on the German market who really had a working managed Kubernetes system product running. So that was pretty cool. And they could keep like operational effort very, very low. They were very, very quick on the market. It only took a couple of weeks, if I remember correctly, until the system was in production. Now they innovate together with us and can continuously provide their customers with new features that we integrate in the platform. That has been a very successful cooperation so far. And then it's a smaller customer. They are called FHE3, and they were also approached by a customer who wanted to have a Kubernetes set up on an OpenShift environment. And then they just realized that their toolset and their environment did not match at all, and that it would take them a lot of time to deliver. And so they used Cube1 because, as I said, it's infrastructure agnostic. And then it was like very, very quickly done. And I was speaking to the responsible, and he said, like, use the tooling that exists out there. Don't try to make everything yourself, because like you will try to do it yourself, then you will run into difficulties and just like spare this time and effort. And because there are some there are clever solutions out there, just use them.
Excellent. Yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of gathering that the speed of which, the velocity of which kind of you guys can provision your platforms, the amount of automation that offers, so it cuts down on the kind of configuration and sort of customization requirements. And then in terms of its flexibility, being able to work on different platforms, that also seems to be an attraction to your customers. Great. So Kristin, wanted to kind of just get a little bit of perspective from Kubermatic in terms of the last year. So sort of, the challenges of 2020, obviously everybody's, been trying to cope with COVID and all the lockdowns and things like that. But I want to kind of get your reaction, Kubermatic's sort of view of some of the sort of changes that have affected really the customers and the IT market.
I think that Kelsey Hightower put it very nicely by saying the pandemic is a forcing function for cloud native, and this is actually what we also see, because like due to the, I mean, everybody was talking about digitization and how important that is before, but then all of a sudden people realized that it's not only important, but super, super urgent, because all of a sudden you end up with a distributed workforce. You have an increased demand in digital offerings, or yeah, it's potentially, I don't know, if you're a retailer, all of a sudden it's your only source of like doing business.
Yes.
So the demand in digital offerings has just exploded, and that is combined with a higher customer with higher customer expectations. So like the quality of your digital offerings also has to improve. And then of course, like this is the external perspective, but then also internally, you need to like have the high performance technology that supports operations in a world that has changed so much. Because of course, if you then have a good digital offering, but your internal operations cannot keep track with that, then you're lost as well. So I think this has really increased the speed in modernization, and this is basically what we have seen. That's also something interesting that I got told by customers, is that like 3 or 4 years ago, it was mainly the technical people driving cloud native adoption, and now it's the other way around, that business is telling them we really need to switch to cloud native technologies and Kubernetes, because it has become a business imperative.
Okay, and yeah, certainly looking at sort of the future as well. Just wanted to understand a little bit more from you about what's in store for Kubermatic for this year.
We have a lot planned. We always have a lot of idea, and we have a lot of things planned for this year. We are actually turning 5 in April, so we're gonna have
happy birthday
remote. Yeah, thank you. So we are going to have a celebration on that. Yeah, because with 5 years in the cloud native ecosystem, I think you can consider yourself a kind of a cloud native veteran already.
Yes. It's a long time, yes.
Yeah. Like in this industry, it definitely is a long time. So this is pretty cool, and I'm also like, yeah, pretty proud that we got this far. Yeah, what else is in the pipeline? And of course, KubeCon is coming up, and we are a gold sponsor this time, so we are looking forward to that. I keep my fingers crossed that KubeCon North America is an in-person event, because that would be nice after all the virtual ones. We also do have our in-house conference Container Days coming up. We plan this as a hybrid conference and really hope that we can have an in-person part as well. And this is, yeah, it's just a lot of fun, because it's usually takes place in the harbor of Hamburg. It's a great atmosphere, because we want to create this festival kind of atmosphere for this conference. We unfortunately had to cancel it last year, and are really looking forward to have that one again. And then of course, over like with cloud native adoption accelerating, we have seen that the number of use cases for cloud native is also increasing. So we really plan to expand our product portfolio to provide solutions for those use cases, like be it the edge, machine learning, 5G. So we have a lot of product announcement planned this year, so you can stay tuned.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll certainly look forward to all of that. And your contribution to, I think, KubeCon is also going to be tremendous as well. It's definitely lots of good activity around that. So yeah, brilliant. So yeah, so Kristin, I wanted to really thank you for your time. Our next talk is going to be kind of a more practical affair. So we're going to hopefully focus on a demo of the Kubermatics solution. So we'll see how that goes. We're not kind of not decided kind of what the content is going to be yet, but we'll kind of get that agreed. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to thank you, Kristin, again for your time. Appreciate that. And yeah, hopefully we'll catch you and do the next one with you guys. I look forward to the next couple of talks with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna make the second talk as well, then with a demo of KKP. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you for watching this talk. If you enjoyed the content, please comment, share, like, and subscribe. See you next time.